Something different now. We all know how important it is to put those plastic bottles and tin cans in the recycling bin, but do you ever wonder what happens when those items leave your hands? Not to mention, are they even recyclable? We had a lot of questions, so I went on a field trip, all for Fox 43 News at 7, to TFC Recycling in Chesapeake for a look at where our recyclables go and what happens when you don't follow the rules.
From one curb to another, Sherry Rahuba with the Southeastern Public Service Authority takes away more than just the trash. In a good chunk of Hampton Roads, customers can pile in the recyclables, the bottles, cans, and cardboard in trash can size containers. All of it ends up here at a massive facility in Chesapeake with a lofty mission.
After material gets collected curbside, it comes into our facility, and we've got a really unique process that separates all this material out into all the different individual grades of material.
Michael, which you may notice rhymes with recycle, Benedetto, has recycling in his blood. He comes from a long line of people focused on finding uses for things that used to get tossed in the trash.
Well, one of the great things about recycling is that there's limited landfill space, and that cost to dispose of material is continuing to rise, as we're seeing here on Hampton Roads. So the more that we can recycle, the more we're helping the environment, and the more we're helping our pockets.
In our time at TFC Recycling in Chesapeake, we saw things that we know shouldn't be in those recycling bins. Garden hoses, plastic bags, plastic bottle caps. In the massive conveyor belts and high-priced equipment, the human touch is equally important. Human hands make sure only recyclable materials are shipped out. And the #1 source of contamination problems, you guessed it, those plastic bags.
Plastic bags are something that people should bring back to the grocery stores that are selling them for recycling. They should not go into the curbside recycling containers.
How much clearer can Benedetto be?
Help us help you. Is this recyclable? Like those yogurt cups, for example.
Only plastic bottles are recyclable, so yogurt cups, butter tubs are not part of the program. The only plastic that we take are plastic bottles, and we ask people to remove the caps from it.
Laundry detergent bottles.
Yes.
Pizza boxes?
No. Pizza boxes have cheese and oil typically in them, which is not acceptable in the recycling process.
How about egg cartons?
Not typically part of the program.
All right, how about magazine inserts?
Magazines are fine.
And all those inserts in the newspaper?
Inserts are fine.
Metals. How about metal cans?
We do accept steel food containers and tin cans. Aerosol cans we prefer not to accept.
Those items that do pass the test get bundled into big bales and shipped overseas to countries that will turn our trash into treasure.
A lot of our product goes over to Asia, and Asia does not have the trees and the raw material to make a lot of the boxes that we're buying off of our shelves. So recycling is great because it's manufacturing in the United States, it's a green industry, and it helps balance our trade deficit.
It was an eye-opening field trip. I mean, surprising stuff that you can't really put in that blue bin. All right, so let's break it down. Plastic bottles, you know, like the ones, these water bottles with a screw-off lid, with a #1 or a #2, that's right here on the bottom.
Right, in the
they
little triangle.
are generally recyclable, but again, these caps need to be thrown in the trash.
Okay.
Because it just messes up their system. You can't recycle
See, this
them.
is tough because for folks who are thinking, oh, it's too much of a pain to recycle, they're going to see this as like more extra steps.
Right, but there are some benefits, of course. Before I get to that, though,
okay,
these are no-no. You can take them to some grocery stores. Sometimes they will have recycling.
Yes, they do.
But these plastic bags really mess with their system.
All right.
So these really need to go in a special, you know, like I think Farm Fresh does some recycling, but some certain grocery stores have them so that you can recycle them, but you just
learn
can't
to
do
bring
that
those
in
bags
those.
to the grocery store.
Right, exactly. Now, why is it so important? One aluminum can can save enough energy to run a TV for 3 hours. We're in the TV business. We enjoy that.
That's right. We want you to watch for 3 hours.
Or the equivalent of half a gallon of gas.
Yeah. All right.
So most of Hampton Roads really, you know, they are part of this recycling program that goes to CFC Recycling, but Portsmouth and Suffolk are not.
All right. Hopefully they'll get on board sometime in the future. In the meantime, you can log on to fox43tv.com for more tips on recycling, so you can learn what steps to take, and then it will become second nature and very easy to do your part for the planet.
Well, now that we've sorted out what's happening at the curb